All right, welcome back to my YouTube channel, guys. I'm so excited to have a guest on today, Tristan from Minnesota, right? From
That
Minnesota?
is correct,
Yes,
from
okay, if I
Minnesota.
recall. Yeah, so Tristan is joining us. He has only been in New Zealand, him and his family, for 5 months, and they are going to share their journey.
5 weeks.
Sorry, did I say 5 months? 5 weeks. Okay, so it's Friday, guys. So this is where my head is at. So 5 weeks. So he's a real newbie in New Zealand, and I just thought that this would be a great opportunity to just really kind of catch them on their wave of like adjusting and what it's like. If you guys are thinking about moving to New Zealand, definitely jump into my community. We have everything to help you with that journey. So welcome, Tristan. We're excited to have you.
Thank you. Yes, it's great.
Okay, so 5 weeks, and you're in New Plymouth.
Yes,
Is that correct? I love
yes.
Mount Taranaki. Do you love it? Like, do you see it from
It's
where you're at?
from the this room here. I can see it looking through the window
Nice.
in our backyard. Basically, the we can see it. Driving around and suddenly it just pops out.
Right.
It's something I'm just not used to living in Minnesota, growing up in Minnesota,
Okay.
to see just a lone mountain.
Right. Like, and it's a big one. It's a big one. Um,
Right, right.
are you gonna make it a goal to climb it someday?
Yes, yes, absolutely. And we're a skiing family. We like to downhill ski for what it's
Oh,
worth in
nice.
Minnesota. And so eventually, probably next season, I'll take my son to the ski hill if weather permits. And yeah, we're definitely looking forward to it next season.
Ooh, fun. Yeah, there's great skiing in the North and the South Island of New Zealand. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's just stunning. Like I'm not like I can ski. It's not my favorite thing to do, but like just the view alone, just to go up there is
yeah, yeah, yeah. We
amazing.
haven't even scratched the surface.
No, right.
It's
5 weeks, okay, give yourself a break. Take a deep breath, right? So why don't you start with like your journey? Like how did you think about moving to New Zealand and like where are you at? What
Yeah.
brought you here?
So my wife and I, we've always wanted to live abroad. We honeymooned in the UK,
Okay.
um, in Scotland, and so
Ooh.
since we've been married, we wanted to live abroad. Well, 3 children later, and they're young children. Our oldest is 8, and our youngest is just turned 1. He
Oh
had
my
his birthday here in
gosh.
New Zealand.
Wow.
Um, we were like, we let's do it. Let's just do it. And so we've always been thinking about it, but then to be honest too, the election happened.
Hmm.
um so we started then after that point, we're like, you know what, now is the time to go and do something different. And so then that's when we found you in your community, and
Nice.
we started watching your videos, and we're like, oh, we let's do this.
No way. Are you serious? Is that why you're like, yes,
Serious,
I can do this?
serious. Yeah, your videos kick started this whole thing. I mean, we joined the community. We started taking your training courses just to go, okay, well, kind of what's the steps here in the process, right? And it really helped as far as like the immigration and the visa steps, knowing that New Zealand has some pretty strict standards when it comes
Right.
to your health testing, right? They want to make sure that you're healthy before you come over, before they allow you to obtain a visa.
Right.
So, but that got us going, right? Watching your videos, and
Right.
so going through those, it got us going. So we started setting our minds to it. We applied through New Zealand immigration. My wife reached out to some of her online communities. She's a GP.
Okay.
Um, she reached out to some of her Facebook groups, and lo and behold, there were some American citizens living here in New Zealand that reached out and reached back to us
Oh,
and
that's so good.
helped us get in contact with some local clinics that were hiring GPs and looking for GPs. So it was they're in desperate need, as you know,
Yes.
of GPs. And so she kind of had, as a GP, she kind of had pick of the litter, right? Uh,
Right.
and so the one of these individuals that reached out to us just happened to live outside of New Plymouth and
Mm.
said, "You have to come to New Plymouth." And so we started looking into New Plymouth and finding out, it's very family oriented. They get the most sunshine out of anywhere in New Zealand.
What?
So we're kind of, yep, yep. They have the most sunshine per year. So we found that out. Yeah, yeah. And I know that you stayed in Wellington, so
Yes.
it can be windy with Mount Taranaki here,
Yes.
but it's not as windy as Wellington.
Right.
But yes, they get the most sunshine and it's so green. And I believe there was what really got us was there was a in New Zealand. It was New Plymouth was voted like the best place to raise a young family.
Right.
And so we saw that and we're like, okay, let's check it out. And just the views. I mean, all of this was done online, mind you. We had never been to New Zealand.
Yes.
We had
I know,
never
me
visited.
either. Like it's crazy, right? But it pulls you
Yes.
in when you see everything online because it's so positive. I can't find one negative of
Yeah,
this
right,
place.
right.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And we got off the plane in New Plymouth and it was, I mean, the sun had cleared out. We were delayed in Auckland for 3 or 4 hours just to get to
Wow.
New Plymouth. We got here finally, and it was like the clouds parted. It was, I mean, it was paradise. Palm trees,
Wow.
it just so it was like and it still is.
Oh yeah.
It's just gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. We can head up to the mountain and or from where we're staying now, we within a 2 3 minute drive, we're down at the beach. And my boys, being from Minnesota, it's winter time down here. They're in the water.
Oh, I believe that. It's not the same
They're in
though.
the water.
Yeah.
They're in the water. And I was surf casting with them. I got a fishing rod finally, and it wasn't it. Lake Superior is colder.
Yes, no, I believe that. I was just at Lake Superior. That's so funny. And now you're down there. Oh my gosh, that's so great. I love that. And I love what you're saying about like, you kind of came in, you were researching it, you saw some videos, you've talked to some people, because what
Yes.
people don't understand, I think so many times is they think like, I just need to get a job and a visa and I can get there. But it's just not a linear process. It's kind of all these things at once. Because you're like, if I can't move my pet, maybe this is a game changer. If I can't do it, you have to kind of get all of your questions answered at the same time that you're moving through getting a visa, getting a job, that sort of thing, right? Because it can be, quite a bit.
Absolutely. It's kind
Yeah.
of the chicken or the egg, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we found out was, well, you have to have a job offer
Right.
before you can complete your immigration application.
Correct.
And but you can't have a job unless if you have your immigration
No,
status
no,
resolved.
I know. And this is and also New Zealand is very small. So people are applying for jobs and you're not allowed to like reapply a lot of times. Not always, but a lot of times you can. And so if people are applying for jobs but don't have proof, like in a letter saying that they can get a visa contingent on a job offer, it's really
Yes.
bad. It's like they've just burned all these bridges and they didn't even know that. And so I'm constantly
Yeah.
like, no, 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 don't apply yet.
Yeah. Yes. Like you have said too, don't do it yet until you've talked to somebody.
Right. Yeah. Like stop, please. Because I mean, I've seen everything. I've even had Americans come to me like they sold their house, they sold everything, they're living in their parents' basement, and now tell me how to get to New Zealand.
Ooh.
Okay. They just assumed they could. There wasn't much to
Right.
it. They didn't think about the visa or anything, and I deal with it all the time. And I'm just like, okay.
Yep.
Well, I really hope we can get you there, and it's not going to be quick, probably.
Right. It's a stepped approach.
Yeah, how long did it take?
It took us 6 months,
That's good.
before we. Yeah, it was pretty quick for us, but again, with my wife being a GP, I think things moved a little quicker. But again, there was the application process through Immigration New Zealand. Um, for her, there was the medical council
Right.
that she had to work with, and so that process is a stepped process as well. Um, they have to verify her credentials, right? She has to send her credentials from the U.S. from her organization over. So there's a lot of back and forth there, but yeah, it was a waiting game, but yeah, we made it happen pretty quick. But we also we were able to do that with her at being a GP. Now, I think if you're looking for another job like myself, engineer, it can happen, but I think that probably would have been a little bit slower. That whole process,
Yeah, it
right?
would have
There's
been.
not a
Yeah.
way to rush.
Yeah. The doctor
Again,
is the top, is the
yeah,
queen.
yeah. Healthcare professionals, I mean, they are in so
Yeah.
need of.
Nurses too.
So,
Yeah. It's true.
yep, yep. Nurses too. Yes, it's. I mean, all over, and the clinics here in New Plymouth, I know, are hiring. They are hiring. They are in need of and trying to get in as a patient. Even there's a little bit of a wait. So we're just getting that established,
Mm.
and the whole family. And it's interesting being only 5 weeks in. It's the differences are very minor, but it's especially being an American citizen
Right.
and right now, being a foreigner. You need to bring in your visa application. You need to have your passport with you,
Right.
and it's visa dependent too, right? In order to sign up for their health care in the country.
Right. But you have a resident visa, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yes, we have resident visas, so we're able to do that.
Okay.
Now, I don't, I'm not sure if you can do that on worker visas or not.
Yeah, they vary
But
actually. It's no
exactly,
simple answer. It used to be very simple. Used to be work, no. Resident, yes. But now it's all dependent on a lot of things.
yeah,
So yeah. So that's cool.
yeah,
So why don't you just I'm dying. I'm just dying to know like 5 weeks you're there, like, okay, so you got off
yes,
the plane, you feel like the clouds like, the clouds parted. But like talk about some of your first things, the food, the driving, what your
yes,
kids' reactions were, housing.
yes. So the people here are incredible.
I know.
At the Auckland International Airport, when we were waiting, when we were delayed to get to New Plymouth, we sat down, we had some lunch with the boys, and there were people sitting next to us that just noticed us, obviously, with three small boys, well, an 8-year old, a 4-year old, and a 1-year old. And it's a bit wild.
Right.
but but they just started talking to us, just, and they were asking about us and where we're going, and they said, welcome, we are so glad you're here. And that hit us right away. Is
Mm.
everybody that knew that we were immigrating or that we were American, they were just so interested in us. And what brings you to New Zealand? Well, actually, we're immigrating, we plan to live here. And they're like, whoa. And even it's funny, they're like, really, why New Zealand? Like, they think
Oh
it's
yeah, that's what they would say. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, they think, well, no big deal. And we're
Right.
like,
They have no
being from
idea what they have.
Minnesota.
No
Yeah,
idea. This is the whole purpose
exactly.
of this channel. Whole purpose.
Yeah. And so we're like, this is great. And so that was the first thing, was the people we really noticed. Where we're staying right now is a rental home.
Mm.
Uh,
Nice.
but happenstance, we reached out on Facebook again through my wife's channels on Facebook, asking, are there any nurses or healthcare professionals that are renting homes or know of anybody?
Hmm.
Turns out there's a nurse that was working at the base hospital here in New Plymouth. Her and her partner are renting their home because they're going to Europe for 6 months. Her
No.
partner, we meet her partner. Her partner is my wife's colleague at her clinic, one of her colleagues. We had no idea. We found this out in our first like one-to-one FaceTime on the internet, on a meeting. And so yeah, they're colleagues. He's an employee at the same clinic, and we're like, perfect. So they're going out for 6 months. We're staying at their house. for 6 months.
No way.
And
And it's all
yeah,
furnished then. It would just have
and it's
everything.
fully furnished. So
You,
that was the
oh,
other thing. Yes, yes. So that's one thing we've been really lucky with is because it's fully furnished, we're not having to go out,
run around. Yeah.
buy couches, buy beds, okay, we don't even have a coffee maker, right?
Right.
And as Kiwis love their coffee.
Right.
We do too. We're addicted now, solidly addicted to flat whites.
5 weeks. It's easy to do.
But yeah, so again, it's the people, and it just worked out that way. And so that was just really cool. There was this strong connection. There's a strong connection of community.
There is.
Our two sons we enrolled the 4-year-old in kindy,
Okay.
which is like it's like preschool. They refer to it as kindy. And then our 8-year-old is in year 4 at one of the local community schools.
Nice.
And meeting the teachers and the administrators and the principals, I mean, they are so passionate about what they do here.
Yeah.
I think back in the US, they are too, but I think there's a level of burnout, right?
Oh,
That
yeah,
the
definitely.
US teachers are really going through. And not that that doesn't happen here,
Of course.
but meeting them, and you can just tell. And our two oldest sons, I was asked today, what day is it today, Dad? I said, it's Saturday. Do I have school? I go, no, pal, it's Saturday. And he
Saturday.
goes, I want to go to school.
No way.
Yeah. Our two sons are like, they want to go to school. They want to go and have fun and socialize and
Right.
learn.
And they,
So
I mean, you've only been there for 5 weeks and they're comfortable.
we've
They're
only been here
making
5 weeks.
friends and
Yes.
wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
great.
So the
Because the way
people,
they do school is different, especially primary, in my opinion, is quite different. It's just, it's very social and it's very like, what do you guys feel like doing today? It isn't, we need to sit down, you have to be quiet, you have to sit at your desk. It's not like that. It's like, it's a lot of building projects, a lot of outside. Yeah, it's
yes.
different.
Yes. One of the things I've noticed too is it's building those social skills.
Hmm.
I know that they're pretty stringent, at least at these two schools, about saying please, thank you, right?
Right.
Being respectful. These building blocks that ultimately make good adults.
Good humans. Yes, thank you for that.
Yes,
That's great.
yes, yes,
That's great.
yeah. So they stress that, and then I mean, yeah, just the passion that they have.
Because they have a
Um,
lot of freedom to do what they want. And I think that that's where
yes,
it comes from. Like they love teaching, but they're not like you have to teach this curriculum and you have to get all the kids to pass this test and you have to, meet these standards. There's not that.
correct.
I mean, they have standards and they have curriculum
Yes,
and it's
yes. They have
nationalized.
standards, but
Yeah,
there's some
but
freedom to
a lot of
do, yeah,
freedom. Yeah.
meet, yes, yes, yes. And we're finding too, like my oldest son's teacher, she's been here quite a while, but I believe she's from Britain.
Oh,
So
okay.
there's a lot of foreigners that are here too.
Yeah.
That that's another thing is the people. It's not just the Kiwis that are
Oh,
here
that's a
working.
good point. That's a good
Yeah,
point. I
yeah,
would say, like, even in my jobs, I had very few Kiwis that I worked with. Most of my friends were from the Europe. I think because you're probably looking for friends, and I think that you just connect easier because you're kind of in the same situation. But I have a lot of Kiwi friends as well. But it's just, yeah,
sure.
it's a huge melting pot. There is just so many
Absolutely.
cultures represented. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And
And I agree with you that I think that the culture, like, so the Maori belief system is that anybody that lands on their land is welcome. And you can just see that
right.
permeate as you describe your first experience in the Auckland airport. And we welcome you here and we're glad you're here. I mean, it's a very different approach than the US, especially currently.
Yes,
And so
absolutely. Absolutely.
it's just like black and white. It's like very different. And they're sincerely interested in knowing you and that was the first thing that I
That's
noticed. When people talk to me, they weren't like just being nice, right? They were asking questions and then more and more questions, and they would talk to me for hours. And I was like, have I ever done this in the US?
with strangers, with
They're
with
just
people
really
who
interested. Yeah.
exactly,
And
exactly.
listening.
And
And not, oh, I
yes,
gotta go. Oh, I gotta go to the next thing.
yeah,
You know.
yeah, I'm late. I gotta go.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. We actually experienced too, and it's so cool. You brought up the Maori culture, and so my wife is working for one of the Maori based clinics.
Nice.
This past week, the whole whānau,
Mm,
us included,
yes.
the family, we
Yes.
were invited to, I'm going to try and pronounce this correctly, the Pawhiri. It
Yes.
is yes, it's a Maori welcome ceremony, as best as I can describe it. And they performed the haka for us and my wife. My wife is the one they were
Right.
welcoming into their whānau, their family, the clinic setting. I I walked in, I shook everybody's hands, and I was greeted with the Maori greeting of the head to nose greeting. We did that multiple times, and meanwhile, 20 individuals, 20 people were performing the haka, and then they started singing and playing guitars, and this was all at the clinic, mind you. And I've never experienced anything like that before, and it was at the end of it, they were all like, your whānau is now an extension of our whānau. So your family is an extension of ours. Welcome. And you are now part of our tribe.
Mm.
And I was blown away. I've never been that close to crying in public.
Oh, no, I
I
know.
mean,
They're
it was
very,
so
very
powerful.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yes, it was just never experienced anything like that. And then obviously the kids are just, what's going on?
No, right. They would be like, what's happening? But they'll also
Yeah,
get the potpourri at their school. Like they'll do it like group ones every once in a while to welcome all
yeah,
the new students. So
yeah.
they'll get their own as well. So,
Yeah, it
wow.
just very cool, very cool. And then the food,
Oh, yeah.
obviously.
Let's talk food. Love it. How are we
Uh,
doing? Less salt,
yes,
less sugar.
less salt, less sugar in everything. I think one of the biggest things is we're not a big, so all, being from the Midwest in Minnesota, we call it pop, not soda,
Yes,
right?
yes, pop, yes.
Yes. So pop, pop, it's real sugar in the pop, and so we're not big pop drinkers, but we get some for the kids every once in a while.
Yes,
And
of course.
the first ingredient is sugarcane sugar, and it's looking at everything, and the ingredients are listed in plain English.
Right.
That was the biggest thing, right? Is
Good point.
you don't have these listed ingredients in these things that are multiple syllables long that you can't pronounce. And so again, the food from the small cafes that we've been at to recently, everything is fresh. The avocado, the
Oh,
apples, even. Yeah, I know. Yes, yes. The eggs. I know you've mentioned the eggs, and
eggs,
I'm like,
right?
yes. And we're like, yeah, watching your video, yeah, whatever, Tara.
Yeah.
I've had free eggs,
Right.
right? Being from the Midwest, whatever.
Yeah, they're not.
These, you crack them open and they're golden.
They're
They are
golden.
this,
Right. It's a golden egg.
and we're and
And it's so
my wife,
good, right? It's so good. The
yeah,
avocado, like I eat the avocado, I'm like, what is this? This has no taste. What is this? I'm buying it even from the farmer. I'm like, come on, guys. Give me something
yeah,
good. Like we would just make guac for dinner. Like we would just because it's so good. And like everybody,
oh,
here's a big bowl. Jump in.
yeah, yeah. I mean, in the tomatoes. I mean, everything. The bread, even the at the bakery at Countdown or Woolworths.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so fresh, and just that's what we noticed is the food is it's not as processed. I
Right.
think is kind of what we're at. What I'm trying to say is it's it's fantastic. And it truly is. We were watching a show. It truly is farm to table,
Yeah.
with how even Woolworths or Countdown. I mean, sources their food.
Yeah.
They get their lettuce from the farmers, just miles away.
Hmm.
And then they source from the South Island as well. And it was like, I had no idea. You think that they're a big Australian company,
Yeah.
and
Right. That's
and
true.
So it's just watching this documentary on salad, and I'm like, what? Okay, whoa, all right, all right. On the South Island, there outside of Christchurch, there was this farm, and I'm like, I'm thinking to
You're like,
myself, okay, this is
come
gonna
on.
be boring,
Seems real
whatever.
inefficient, guys.
Yeah, and they were talking. The Woolworths representative there was with the farmer, and they were going and selecting like the varieties that they'll package and send to the stores around New Zealand. And I was just that's another thing is just um, how fresh the vegetables are. You get them so fast that we're noticing in the last 5 weeks that they tend to last longer even in your refrigerator.
Mm.
Whereas back in
That's true.
Minnesota, right? Yeah, with the climate, obviously, you get things that are been on trucks or planes for a lot longer, right? So you get them and you just have less time to eat them,
True. That's
right?
true. That's very true.
Yeah,
But then you got the bread, and it's like, oh, I've had it for 5 weeks, still good. Because it's so processed here in the
right. And
US. Yeah,
that's the opposite,
that's the
right? Like
opposite.
here,
Yeah.
it dries out pretty quick,
Yeah, in
right?
New
But
Zealand, it
we
goes
can
bad
appreciate
fast.
that.
Yeah. I
Yep.
always had to
Yeah.
like break it up and freeze some of it because it goes really fast because it's not
That's
full of preservatives, guys. So,
exactly,
yeah. So
exactly.
how are you finding
So
the cost of the food? People are always worried about that.
So we're finding that it's really relative,
Mm.
right? And that's the thing we've really been looking at. We were trying to pay attention to because that's what we've heard. We've heard, well, the food is so expensive. It's relative.
Mhm.
Back in Minnesota, right, in order to get avocado, right, you're getting it from Mexico and you're paying a premium for that in the winter, right?
Right,
The dead of winter in
right.
Minnesota. So getting fresh produce, it's relative. We're looking at. We've been going to Countdown, and Pack and Save is the other one that
Right.
we've been utilizing a lot of with three boys, and we're right in within budget of what we figured we would be. So again, I think it's pretty close 1-to-1, but what you're getting is a freshness that you wouldn't get in the U.S. Right?
Oh
Just
no, that's
because
true. Like, and
you know,
it's an actual job to find decent food in the US. You actually have to work for it. Whereas there,
yes,
if any of the three main stores you go to, you're going to get all organic food. And that's just
yes,
not the same. So here, like you have to like, oh, I have to go over here to get this organic or whatever, just because you're trying not to kill your kids or get cancer. Do you know what I'm saying? And
absolutely,
yeah, it's just a lot easier. And I found it
yeah.
could be like if you're like not crazy and just like spending on anything you on a whim, that you could
Yes.
stop and eat pretty easily
Well, and I think too, what we've learned is eat the things that are in season.
in
I think
season.
you've said that too.
Yeah.
It's right now it's the sweet potatoes, the kamara as they call
Mm,
them.
yeah.
Apples, carrots, kind of those types of vegetables and fruit. Berries and everything as of now because it's winter down here aren't in season, and those are expensive.
Right.
And again, being used to living in the U.S., we had the local Costco. We could
Yeah.
go and you could get a big, 2 pound package of strawberries.
Strawberries anytime.
Yeah, strawberries anytime. You just can't get those here like that. And
Right. I
so
mean,
you're
you could
more
pay
selective.
$9 for,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah,
onions.
exactly, exactly. So yeah, the food is just great. The food is great. The coffee, oh,
Oh, let's talk the coffee. I just want
oh,
to taste it through the screen. Oh my gosh, is it so good?
the coffee. So being from the U.S., it was like Caribou Coffee, Starbucks, right? Those are your kind of,
Right.
they don't. They're very few and far between here.
Right.
There's cafes every corner on the streets, um, but the coffee. I had my first long black the other day,
Mm.
and I'm like, is this going to be too strong? I like espresso, but is this going to be? It was so good. It was so good.
Oh my
And
gosh.
yeah, and again, it was so fresh that, and they just Kiwis love their espresso and their long blacks, their flat whites.
Right.
Um, it's so good. It's so good. And we found a local roaster here. So we went and bought a little miniature espresso machine because we're like we got to do
You
this,
have to. Yeah,
yeah,
because they
so
get
we
expensive.
gotta, yeah, and well, we kind of added it up. It's like, okay, you get your own espresso machine. Do you pay $6 for a cup of coffee every day,
Right.
or do you make your own? And we found a local roaster as well. So, and that's the other thing too. Going back to kind of food and coffee, the local roasters, they work with the local grocery stores as well. So they're there,
So
right?
they're there.
It's
Yeah, you can get it. Yeah, that's true. Oh my gosh. So
yeah,
how are your kids adjusting? How are they feeling?
they're doing really well. I can tell you that their behavior has changed quite a
Hmm,
bit as well. They
really?
yeah, they're more active during the day, right?
Hmm,
At school, at their schools, they're more active.
that's
So
true.
they come home and they're not as hyped up, right? They don't, you know, and that's great.
Oh,
being
good.
being a parent of,
So good.
a parent of three kids, it's yeah, end of the day, this calmed down, right?
Right.
It's they've been active, they've used their brain, they've used their bodies, they've run around, they've played, they've socialized. They can't wait to go to school here. I just
That's so good. I mean,
they're
it sounds like you have a really good school and a really great teachers and, I mean, I've had
well,
really
and
good
that's
experiences too. So,
yeah, and that's a great thing too in New Plymouth, right? It's not as big as Auckland or Wellington. I think it's
right.
only about eighty
Okay.
thousand people, so it's
Okay.
not as large. But we have now run into other Kiwis. Just again, these people are interested where we're from because they hear us talking, or
Yeah.
we're on the
Right.
beach, or
Yeah, your accent.
yeah, our accents just give it away. And so they ask us, where are the boys going to school, or are they? And I said, yes, they're going to the local school. And our oldest is going to one up here, and everybody we've talked to has had nothing but great things to talk about the principal who's recently taken over. Like
Oh,
he's
okay. It makes a
yeah,
big
he's been
difference.
yeah. And they're like, that's a great school. That's a great school. And they're just, I mean, my oldest son, he's again, he's just like he's loving it.
Mm.
He's enjoying it so much. He's like, oh man, Saturday I have to hang out with mom and dad. I can't go to school.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and whereas back in the States it was just like, he was like, I can't wait to be done with school. Oh, good, it's the weekend, right?
Yeah.
So that's a big thing is we're finding our boys, it's not this culture of living for the weekend, right?
Right.
It's
No, that's true.
yeah.
Mhm.
So they're like I said, their behavior has changed in a good way, positively, just because they're just more active. They're doing again the socializing aspect of it. It's not just grinding and for instance, learning how to read. It's not just a grind and going through the
Right.
motions to pass a test, right?
Right. Right. That's so good. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that you're having a great first experience. Tell
Yeah.
me a little bit about the housing and you're in winter there, so how's the heat? I just have to know.
Yes. So people are looking at us like we're odd, because again, being from Minnesota, uh, we're it's 50. So it's right now this morning it's about 7 degrees Celsius, but it's been getting up during the daytime about 14, 15 degrees Celsius. So right around that 55 to 58 degrees Fahrenheit mark. And we're walking around in shorts and t-shirts,
Okay.
and my sons, they're walking barefooted all over.
Oh,
And I
are
know
they?
you,
They
yeah, oh
just
yeah,
jumped into that.
yep, they're
Okay.
our 4-year-old's like, no, I'm gonna go barefoot.
I love it. I
I
love
go
it.
barefoot. Um,
Well, your
so
kids are
so
great ages to move, to be fair. You have like the
yeah,
perfect ages.
they're having a blast.
Mm.
And so yeah, it's the weather is yeah, it's about 55 degrees Fahrenheit here, so we're loving it. And this is the dead of winter,
Yeah, this is
and
the
we're like,
worst it gets.
like this
Not
is
hard.
it.
Right.
And
It's
people are
not
like,
hard.
it's freezing. And nothing against the Kiwis, right? You're acclimated. This
Yeah.
is this, living here, you're acclimated to this, but it's just like there's green, there's not feet of snow.
No, and not that disgusting mud and like no leaves and yeah.
Yeah. And so and we're just, they're telling us, well, wait until the summer. We're like, wait. like this is great right now, you
I
know?
know. I know.
So
I know.
summer's just going to be fantastic. So yeah, we're loving the weather and the house. So the housing situation um, is what we found is it's very similar to the U.S. Now, kind of, we sold our home in the U.S., but obviously to get here, but we found that the market's very similar, and it's starting to, I guess, kind of cool off now, kind of like the U.S. Right? Interest
Okay.
rates are kind of coming down.
Okay.
Um, so there right now it's we were told it's more of a buyer's market, which is nice for us.
Right.
It's no longer just a seller's market.
Because you can get PR pretty quickly.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Because you can't really buy until you have that. So, okay.
Right. So that's a really good question is because we have resident visas and we've only been in the country about 5 weeks, we there is a pathway to being able to purchase a home in New Zealand if you have your resident visa but haven't been here a year. I
Oh,
think
really?
yeah, you have to live in country. I think it's something odd, like 183 days
Yeah.
out of 365 or something.
Okay.
So that's the typical. Well, we wanted to buy a home right away. So
Mm.
we actually are in settling. We're going to settle in 2 weeks on a home we
You are?
purchased. Yes, yes.
Oh my.
So what we found out is you have to get there's a fee to pay, but you can get there's a declaration you have to sign through the Overseas Investment Board.
Okay.
And that declaration, you have to get it notarized.
Hmm.
Luckily, in New Plymouth and in the districts in New Zealand, they have justices of the peace that do this service for free.
Mhm.
So we were able to just wait in line, and we printed off the form. We
Okay.
only one of us had to get approval because we're married.
Yeah.
So we did this approval, signed this declaration, got it notarized, and we submitted it online through the Overseas Investment Board, and with a fee, of course. And I think it ended up being it wasn't cheap. It was 2,000 NZD.
Okay.
So it wasn't cheap, but it allows you to, if you get approval, you can buy a single home to live in for your family. And so then you can go out and you can purchase a home just like as if you had been here a year or you're a full resident,
Oh,
permanent
wow.
resident.
That's great. That is really good information. I did not know that. I feel like you had mentioned that, and I'm glad that you're clarifying that.
Yeah. So if you get approval, which we did, then you can go out. You can go out and you can get pre-approved through a bank, right? So again, we got set up through ANZ. We have personal banking through them, but you can go and get pre-approved through a financial institution, and then you can look around for houses just like anybody else. And so we settle in 2 weeks in New Plymouth here in a house that we're hopefully we can settle on or close, right?
Right.
Um, that process has been a learning process as
Oh
well
yeah,
because
it's
you
totally,
just
I
do
feel
it
like it's
different.
different. Yeah.
It so they don't have buyer's agents, right? So
Okay.
we don't we I found out you don't pursue you don't go to company A and now you have a realtor that works on your behalf.
Right.
You're kind of on your own.
Mm.
However, you need to hire a solicitor or a titling lawyer, right?
Oh.
So that it was interesting. So you retain a titling lawyer and then you go through the process with the seller's agent
Mm.
and you step through the conditions that you want to have. So all your contingencies when buying a house, inspections, right? Building inspections, code compliance. Um, One of the things is called a limb report. It's a land information. I'm going to land information management report, I think. So basically, the district pulls all of the permits that were issued to the house back until as far as they can go.
Mm.
So you have that, and you collect all of this information, and then once you satisfy all of your conditions, there is a week-long period of where it goes unconditional, as they call it,
Mm.
which I thought was odd. So you've met all your conditions, now it's an unconditional offer.
Right.
Yes, it's a little odd. It's like
Oh,
now, okay, what are we
right.
waiting for? But then they call it settling. So settling is your closing date.
Okay.
And so it's still a learning process because we're still at this. We have 2 weeks left to go,
Okay.
and we have you have to have housing insurance set up ahead of time as well. Uh, I don't think they have like escrow accounts. It's an interesting thing, and that's why we're still learning.
Yeah, right.
It's going to be
Oh my
it's going to
gosh.
be
Okay, so you're not renting this house then for 6 months. You're moving.
we're going to move out. Yeah. So what we decided is we're going to rent this house because it's a colleague, and we've signed our agreement with them.
Hmm.
When we close on this other one, we made sure we budgeted for this.
I
Um,
see.
because we don't have any furniture or anything, the goal was to slowly do.
Oh,
Okay,
that's so
we'll get beds
nice.
and we'll transfer slowly
I
because
love that.
it's nice to have a warm bed and showers here while you're getting
Yeah.
the other place
No, that's
ready to
really
go.
ideal. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. So, like beds aren't cheap here. I think that was the one thing.
that's a
Furniture is
shocker.
just not cheap.
Mm-mm.
Um, and we were even looking at, okay, do some of the American companies ship over here? And they don't, or they either don't at all,
Right,
or it's so incredibly expensive. It's like, well, I'll just buy something local then. The
right.
good thing is we found some Australian companies that will ship here no problem.
Okay. Oh,
So
that's a good idea. That's true. I did get a mattress from Australia once. That's true.
yeah. There's a brand called Ecosa, which I was looking at. Just
Oh
it's
yeah,
from
that's so
Australia.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. They
Oh my
just send
gosh,
them.
that's
Yeah,
so fun. Oh, that's
yeah.
so good. You have a house. I can't believe it. That's amazing. I mean, you've been
Yes,
there for 5 weeks. That is
I
just,
know. And it's we've been hitting it pretty hard in between the jobs and the kids, and so it's been a great learning process. A little bit stressful,
of
and
course.
I'm sure here in the next 2 weeks before we close or settle on this home, there's going to be some learning things. But we have our solicitor set up.
But the
We're
Kiwis
providing.
are there to help. They're not out to get you. There's definitely
So
a,
that's yes. So that's the other thing. The seller's agent has been so upfront,
hmm.
so helpful, and said, you'll want to do this, and then, I mean, she came over to this house and sat down for 2 hours on a Saturday morning with us
Hmm. Oh, that's
and walked us through the offer process, how New Zealand does it. She walked us through the whole thing. And then she even showed us, here's all the information on this house. And we went through it all together, line by line. And, towards the end of it, kids are going nuts, right? It's like, okay, time to go. But so very helpful, so very upfront. And
oh,
that's the other thing too, is it's that's the other thing with buying a house here. We found out, I mean, she obviously the realtors or their agents will make, they'll get a commission or a they charge, but the seller pays all that. So there's not this back and forth either of, okay, well, for closing costs, we'll pay half or you'll pay half, you pay it
oh yeah,
all.
that's true.
So there's none of that at
Oh,
all. It's
interesting.
you make an offer and then you work with your solicitor and they work from the legal side on your behalf.
Hmm.
And that's it.
And that's it.
There's
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
that's great. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you have a house. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I have a quick question. I feel like when we talked that you had dogs, did you move pets?
Yes. So we luckily, my in-laws have been watching our dogs
Okay.
for the last 5 weeks, or
Okay.
I think 6 weeks since we left. We are bringing them over. That is quite a process. And again, we were fortunate enough we were able to budget for all of these things. So you got to think ahead.
You
If you
do.
have pets, especially, it it's it is not cheap for we have 3 dogs. New Plymouth, and this is I have to tell this to anybody that's looking. You have to look in the city and their ordinances. New Plymouth only allows 2 dogs per house. Now you can get
What?
a variance, yes,
I didn't know that.
yes. So if you live outside of the city limits, it doesn't matter,
Doesn't matter.
right?
Okay.
Right. So it's within city limits. So that's what I have to stress. Make sure you find out where you're living if you have pets, look into it. Go into the, so for instance, we looked into the New Plymouth District Council, right? Uh, and we found out two dogs. Now they do allow variances, but they have, somebody has to come out from the council and look at the property.
Mm,
You know, I think if it's fenced, is it large enough? You know, I think
right.
those kind of
Those
things.
kind of things. Yeah.
And then you can apply and they can grant variances. So you can have, so we're hoping with this property, um, we can do that. So luckily one of our dogs is attached to our in-laws pretty good. So if we can't bring him over,
I see.
he'll live a good life there, as hard as that is.
Right.
Um,
Right.
and he's the younger one. We have two miniature schnauzers and a standard poodle, and the standard poodle can run around on
Nice.
my in-laws property.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, so when talking expenses, it's for the three dogs, it was over $20,000 USD.
Wow.
And that is, yes, and that is, you know, that's transport. So you can't just bring them to the airport.
Oh, you can't just, thank you. Yes.
You
Did you
can't, you
use
can't,
Starwood? Did you use a pet? What'd you use?
yes. And so Starwood is who's we are going to be using, or we have a quote from them. Um, and so what they do is they'll transport the dogs from Minnesota. They'll get them out to the airport. They'll have all that. Now that's the creme de la creme service, right? They have different services that they offer and different packages for your pets.
Oh, okay.
We opted because we've never done this before. We want advice step by step. Okay, what information do we have to provide? So you have to make sure that you have all of your dogs need to be microchipped. That's a requirement in New Zealand.
Really?
They need to be microchipped. You have to have evidence of a microchip. The microchip has to meet the compatibility requirements to New Zealand. So make sure you get a manufacturer that provides specific microchips. Uh-huh. Yes.
Wow.
It's a, yeah, and then every time they have to be free and clear of parasites, right? Diseases,
Oh,
everything.
yeah, that's why they have to go through that. Yeah.
Yes. And so every vaccine that they get, or every blood test that they get drawn, or any test, they scan that microchip for that reason. So then all of that is attached to that animal and that
The
microchip.
animal. Okay.
All of that information then is packaged up for each animal, and then it has to be sent to the USDA veterinarians.
Hmm.
Most vets are not USDA certified.
Oh.
Most, at least, are the ones in our area of Minnesota aren't. Now there's a lot of USDA veterinarians, but for the most part, we found out that you don't just handle that at your local veterinarian.
Oh, okay.
So all of that information then needs to be sent to a USDA certified vet. They review it, they sign off on it, send it back to your veterinarian, and then there's the final sign off. Then all of that information is provided to Starwood or your pet transport. Get your animal out. You have to make sure that you have your permit to import your dog from New Zealand now, of course, with
Okay.
all of this information.
Right.
You have to make sure that you've provided your passport. I mean, it's everything. A local address on this side, on New Zealand, because they
Okay.
don't want you to abandon the dog. And then there's a 10-day quarantine period
Quarantine.
here in New Zealand.
Right.
Um, so it is a process. It's going to be still a learning process. We found out that if you want to bring a pet, one thing too is you need to do rabies titer tests,
Hmm.
which aren't the rabies vaccines. It's a test that our rate was $500 a test. You need to do it. Yes, you need to do it,
What?
and it's a required. Yep, it's a requirement. And you can't send the dog over under 3 months of getting that test. So you
Oh
get the test,
my
you have to
gosh.
wait 3 months until you get your pet sent over. So we're kind of in this, okay, we have
Wow.
those. We can't send our dogs over now. One of them, he had to get another just a retest because
Hmm.
he had to get a revaccination anyway.
Oh, okay.
So we're not able to bring the dogs out until December at the earliest. And then there is a restriction. You get that test, it's no less than 3 months, and I think it's no greater than 18 months. So
Okay.
there's this window
Window that you have.
that you have. And
Oh,
yes, so it's I think in my mind it's almost harder to get the dogs over than it is to get
the
people.
people over. No, I've heard people say that to me on other interviews. They're like, it was wow. And then when you finally
Yeah,
get them, it's so exciting.
yeah. So we're looking forward to it, but again, that's one of these learning processes.
Yeah.
Like, okay, they're vaccinated. We have this window now. They're with my in-laws. They're having a blast. They're cared for. My in-laws, my family want to come over, so we're gonna probably time it with them coming over to visit the
Nice.
same time the dogs come over. And well, the other thing too is with the quarantining now, they I believe they only can come in through the Auckland airport.
Mm.
And again, that's what I remember. Oh well, no, I could be wrong, but there are quarantine services that are throughout actually, yeah, I am wrong. They can come in, but I think Wellington, Auckland, and then Christchurch.
Mm.
But there's only a handful of these quarantine places that will
Wow.
pick up the dog from the airport, bring them to their site for 10 days. They retest and they
Mm.
stay there. And that's on the owner to pay
Yeah.
for that whole thing as well.
Oh my God.
So
Well, I hope you like your pets, guys, because
yeah,
did you bring
yes,
anything else over? Did you ship stuff or are we just shipping the pets?
we did. We went through your suggested company, Conroy.
Oh, you did?
We
Oh, okay.
Yes, and so we have a shipping container coming over. Most of it's like keepsakes and possessions. We have kids' bicycles, things of that nature.
Yeah.
We opted to not bring furniture or anything over just because of the restrictions on wood furniture.
Right.
We actually had to sell one of our. New Zealand doesn't allow rosewoods into the country for parasite reasons,
Oh,
right?
I forget about that. Yes, the wood.
Yes,
Oh my gosh,
yes,
I forgot
woods.
about that.
Yes. So your furniture, you have to be able to prove, okay, it's factory made.
Correct.
There's all these things, and it was this let's just handle that here. We
Yeah.
can live without those. So it was keepsakes. We filled up the shipping container, but as with a family of small children too, it's toys. It's some of my stuff. I like to homebrew in my spare time as well.
Oh,
So I'm
nice.
trying to find
Yes.
that community. So there's some of that equipment that took up some room.
Right.
But we that process, phenomenal
Oh,
going through
good.
Conroy.
Yeah,
What
I
they
had a
did,
great experience, so I'm glad you did too.
yeah. I mean, they coordinated with the state side, their contractors through the state side. We actually we we had left already by the time they were loading all of our possessions up from our
Oh,
storage
wow.
unit.
Okay.
So the local company in Minnesota coordinated with my father,
Mm.
and it was, we'll take care of it from here. And so my
Well,
my
we'll hope
dad
it's
just,
right. I mean, you don't have it yet.
we don't have it. We don't have it. So yeah, that being said, and we were told 3 to 4 months before delivery. So this is where I mean, that's just the way it is. It's going all the way across the world.
Course. No, of course. Exactly. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, thanks so much, Tristan, for sharing your experience. I
Yes.
don't want to keep you too long, but before we depart, one last question. Is there any like advice that you would give anybody that's in the process or thinking about it or like, anything and everything?
My advice would be to ask questions, to reach out to you,
Yeah,
to
that's
reach
good.
out to anybody in the
I think
community.
so.
Just because you don't know what you don't know,
You don't
and
know, you don't
you
know. It's good.
know, yeah, you don't know what you don't know, and um, getting here is just half of the battle.
Right. Right. There's a
Right.
lot of battles. There's like the deciding to go, and then there's like, okay, now I am going, and then now I've arrived. It's like three huge battles and
Yes,
different questions and different issues.
absolutely.
Right.
But once you arrive, like I said, we we could smell the salt air. It was sunny out. We're like, this is home.
Yeah.
And every day we've said to each other, we're like, we live here in
You know, like, where
paradise.
do we live? That's what my kids use. Like, where do we live? This is unbelievable. Like, when I arrived the second time I moved there, I literally got home and ran to the beach, like running. Like, oh, and like the air is so fresh. And so, yeah, I just was breathing. And
I
it's like you just,
I forgot to mention that getting off the plane and breathing that air.
that air. It's like you
uh,
can't describe it. I don't know, but it's noticeable.
Right. It is very noticeable. And
Yeah.
people just think, oh, being from Minnesota, well, of course, trees and fresh air.
Right.
Yes, but this is different.
It's different. It's different. Oh my gosh. Well, thanks so much for sharing your story and being willing to do that. And I'm so glad that you had a great first 5 weeks, that the boys like the school and you bought a house. I mean, I think you should, just go have a wine tonight because you've done well. And then you get to travel. Like, you probably haven't had a lot of time to travel. I can't wait to hear like what you think of the rest of the country because it's wow. It's wow. There's really not a bad part of New Zealand, let's be real. But it's wow.
Yeah, it
There's
is.
kind of
Well,
like,
we bought a car too. That was the other thing. It was just we're crazy.
oh my gosh, did you buy it from Turner's? Where'd you buy it?
We bought it brand new from Tasman Toyota.
Oh, you did. You bought brand new. Look at you. Oh my gosh.
So again, we budgeted for these things, and we sold everything we had in
Yeah.
we we sold everything we had in the U.S.
And the
Sold the
exchange rate
house,
is good.
sold the cars,
So yeah, you
and the
basically doubled
exchange
your
rate
money.
right now. Yes, yes.
Yes.
So we sold our Rav4 in the U.S. and we bought a brand new Toyota Hilux, the Ute, as they call them, a pickup
Ah, it's
truck.
the Ute. I'm like, I don't recognize that brand. Okay, it's because they're all different there. I know that. So,
Yes,
oh my
yes,
gosh, I love that. So yeah, and the experience was good, right? Pretty easy. Here's a piece of paper, sign your name, right?
yeah,
Put the
yeah.
money in the
We
account.
and oh, so that's another thing we
I
could
know.
talk about. I mean, we could go on and on.
I know.
The way people pay.
I
Here's
know.
my account number. Pay me directly.
Yep.
Wait, what?
Right.
You're giving me your account number?
Yep.
To us, that's like your social security number. No, 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 no. Nobody
Right.
gets that.
Right. No, exactly. It's very uncomfortable. There's no
Yeah,
Venmo, there's no PayPal, there's no Zelle. There's no middleman.
right, right.
Yeah.
And so that buying process here completely different as well. It was straightforward. Here's the sales price. Here's everything you want. Here's the delivery date, all on one sheet of
One
paper.
sheet of paper. That's what I remember.
One sheet of
What's
paper.
happening? Normally it's like a stack this thick, and a house is like this
Exactly.
thick.
One sheet of paper. Here you go. The salesman, fantastic.
I know. And you don't really need it. They don't really negotiate. It's pretty
Nope.
straightforward. The
Nope.
price is the
There's the
price.
sticker price is the price,
Is the
right?
price. Yeah. I
And
even
what I
tried to
like
negotiate
about
$100 and they weren't doing it.
it,
They're like,
no,
no, we don't
and
do
I
that
like
here.
it.
I was like,
No, they don't do that. And you know what else I like about it? They included the tax in it. So it wasn't like, okay,
yes.
what is your taxes? No, here's the total drive away
Everything
price.
includes all the tax and the GST. It's
Great.
true. Yeah. You're like, oh, yeah, like you just don't, it's just like that. You don't have to like, fight somebody or like feel like you have to put on I'm going to go to the car dealership, and
Yeah, yeah. And I think we've all had those experiences at car dealerships, whether you're buying used or new. It's like,
either way,
all right, I got to put my negotiating, I got
right.
to
Or they're
got to
just
play
going to run
hardball with
all
this
over
guy,
me. Yes.
right? Exactly. Don't let them know what you really want to spend. Go in, you
Right.
know,
Really low. And just, yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
so true.
We're
I've had so many friends that were like traveling to the US and they were just getting scammed. I mean, because they don't know, they assume that everybody's, on their side, which just isn't the case.
yeah,
I mean, I'm like, give me the phone. Let me talk to them, like with my accent. and like, you know what I mean? And like just handled it because they just have no idea. I'm like, no, you can't say that. And you can't just be like okay with that. No, no. They're so nice.
Right, right, right. Exactly, exactly. Where in the US, it's like, well, you don't tell them how much you're willing to spend. No, 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 no. Because that's the price of the vehicle then.
No, that's exactly.
What's your
And
budget?
yeah, right. Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh, that's so good. Well, anyway, thanks so much for joining us
Yes,
today. And that has been so helpful. And definitely keep me updated on, how you're progressing, the house and everything and how things
absolutely.
are going. And guys,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you have questions, comment below. Tristan will be in there, can answer questions. I'll be in there. And just sharing your experience. And, maybe there's someone out there that's in New Plymouth that you could make a friend or make a connection. So anyway, thanks so much for joining us today.